We're all hurting. We're all struggling. We're all kind of living in isolated little bubbles. We're all in separate bedrooms, Everybody needed that kind of space for themselves. And if they wanted to sleep 14 hours a day, they could. No one's disrupting them. The other piece of what we learned through this journey, what I learned through this journey, was even in the isolation, sometimes I remember I'd hear a door open and it was Luella or Trey just checking in on me. We all knew that we were being cared for. That even though you have to move into your independent sides, right? You became an individual on some level. You see the interplay of being you with the need to be in us. That we're not walking through this journey alone. We're here to support each other. We're here to make sure, though you're over there, I'm gonna make sure you're okay while you're over there. Just gonna check in on you. It's the power of caring. It's the power of caring. I think you can use the word love and care interchangeably, but there is something powerful about caring for others. I've always said the worst message you send to any relation, particularly in a marital bond, is the message, I don't care. Because if you send the message, I don't care enough, and that person figures out you really don't care, they're going to walk out of your life. It's just the way it is. Through this month of COVID and marriage and our family having it, what was dominant in the house? Not just the idea of us, it was the idea that we're all hurting and struggling in our own individual battles, but everyone knew and felt cared for. We felt cared for. Trey cared for me. Suzanne cared for me. Luella cared for me. I cared for them. They cared for each other. The sense of care was so strong in our home. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tear up telling you about it. It was so strong in our home. It deepened my love and respect for my son. It deepened my love and my respect for my daughter-in-law. It deepened my love and respect for my bride, Luella. The care that was in that home and has been deepened since we're all back. I mean, walking this level of care that we've had has been post-COVID as well. There's something powerful about walking through a tragedy, a challenge together. Because if done well, the care that gets you through it as a unit, as a whole, is still there and deep when the challenge is over. And I'll tell you something, I'm tearing up, just feeling that level of care and love. I don't care to go back through COVID again, and I don't want it on my family. But the love, the care, the support, the intimacy, the greater level of vulnerability that we've experienced before. Now, I'm here to tell you something. It was very strong before. I'm not saying it was bad before. It wasn't. My wife and I tend to live this way, the way of being. But here I am 5 weeks out in the level that we had going into COVID. Yes, it got us through it as a unit. It did. What I didn't realize is the level and the depth of what it would grow to and how much more meaningful it is. One night, Luella was struggling and she had moved back into the bedroom. She felt good enough to come back in, but she was struggling, and it's like 3 a.m. She said, "You awake?" And I happened to be awake. And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I can't tell you why, but I've got to have something in my body. Would you get me an orange and cut it up? Cut the skins off." Not one iota of resistance in me. I get to serve my bride who's struggling and hurting right now, and that's what her body needs. Got it. Yep, I'll do it. And I went and got a plate, and I cut that thing, up, and I took the skins off and brought them to her. And she ate them, and she just looked at me. She said, "Thank you for what my body needed." She rolled over, went back to sleep. I am so grateful that I got to do that for her. Personally, I think she did far more of that for me No, I know she did. But I'm so grateful that we got to serve each other that way. Here's what I've learned from COVID in marriage. You can allow the challenges of life, COVID or whatever challenge of life, to destroy your relationship. But I've come to realize, as I've taught for many years on what I call the power of us and all the aspects around having a strong, healthy, strong us, this one event in our life journey, everybody getting COVID, I never anticipated the deeper level of usness it would create, the greater level of care for oneself and others, would at the level of the depth it would go to, which manifested itself in a patience that could be felt. And through all of that, a recognition that we need others in our lives to support us through this and encourage us through it. And so by moving to humility, we allow, you're able to reach out. We're able to reach out to friends and family and say, we need some support. We need help. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what I've learned through COVID and marriage. I don't want to go through it again. Having it once is enough. But those are some things that I have learned and experienced. So I just want to share those with you. And maybe in a small way, some of the things that I've taught today or shared with you or lessons that I've learned, maybe in some small way, they might encourage you through your journeys. Maybe not with COVID, but maybe with something else that shows up in your life, some other crisis. And here's ultimately what I'm really saying. It's not having a crisis or a challenge in life that really is the problem. Let's be honest. In life, we're going to have challenges. We're going to have things that happen. That's life. It's how you approach those issues and how you choose to deal with them that ultimately is going to matter. And day by day, moment by moment, I get to make that decision. So I'm hoping a small way, this just might give you some things to think about as I have walked this journey. Glad I'm on the other side of it. Learned some things, and will translate that into the rest of my life and my way of being, my way of relating, and my way of teaching.